Well, good morning, everybody. This is Roy. I'm doing this video on a new GoFundMe page or ad campaign. I have another one, but I guess maybe I didn't explain what I was trying to do well enough. Although I did get some donations, it was primarily from people that knew me. And I've tried everything. So I'm going to try it at a different approach by explaining a little bit more about what I'm trying to do here. First of all, I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and I'm a single dad. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm just ready to get off the road and do something else. It's gotten to be too much. My idea, because I developed resources for this idea. Originally I wanted to open a thrift store, in which I still want to do that, but I've expanded it to include a community center in Oklahoma City with a thrift store, a place where people can go and get some of the smaller services that they need, that you just can't get anywhere. I mean, the library, yeah, you got the library, that you can get some of the things like fax services and so forth. But I'm talking about basically a center where I can put together programs with other businesses and all that to help the community. For example, local truck stops where we can possibly buy shower coupons, so that some of these homeless folks that are maybe staying at a shelter or staying under a bridge even could at least be able to go take a shower. I want to also, and the thrift store is going to be designed to help support that. I'm not going to call it a non-profit venture, because I think it's going to end up making a profit if I can get it off the ground, and that's what this campaign is for. It's an attempt to get the funding I need to get this idea off the ground. When I say community things like we'll put in a couple of fax machines, printers. We'll try and see how the computer issues and so forth go. Put in. I'd even like to find a building where I can put in laundry services for free. I mean, that some of these folks that can't afford to do laundry, they can come and do their laundry. And the short version is I have a whole lot of ideas. I'm reluctant to put all these ideas on here simply because I'm concerned that somebody will grab this idea and run with it, and there I am, with my ideas being taken. The amount that I'm looking for is high. It's because mainly I want to, when I do this, if I'm able to do it, I want to pay for a lease on a large building, and pay that lease for a year for the purpose of giving the thrift store time to get going, to set up and get these programs going. I mean, I have a lot of ideas with voucher systems for the churches, social services, so on. And although I'm doing this also to support myself after I get out of the truck, I mean, that's not the primary goal here. The neighborhood I live in, surprisingly, is low income, and I didn't know that. The neighbors and the people there seem to work together, and it's actually a pretty good neighborhood. I did not realize that it was low income when I moved into it. And a lot of these people are just hardworking people that from time to time have trouble making ends meet. And that's some of the services I want to provide. I mean, nobody should have to choose between, for example, doing their laundry or having gas money to get to work, or food to put on the table. The proceeds that will come from the thrift store will be used to support the community center, as well as for me to support myself. And I could use some help just getting it off the ground, really. I mean, I'm gonna put a large amount on this campaign, only because it's what's going to be needed, because I'm going to have to get washers and dryers, and I'm going to have to, set up the store once I find it and get it going. And like I said, I want to pay a year lease on the building, wherever it might be. It's going to be in Oklahoma City, but I mean, and I'm going to try to do it as close to my house, or in my neighborhood. But and I've talked to quite a few people about it, and it really is a good idea. I mean, we need to start bringing back the days of the old-fashioned thrift store. I'm being told that thrift stores are closing and going out of business. And I'm not going to mention names, but I've seen a lot of these thrift stores that are going out of business. They're going out of business because they're trying to compete with Walmart. Their prices are too high. I don't want to name any, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing them, but there were a few places where I used to be able to go and get things and go in with $10 or $20 and walk out with a whole bunch of stuff. But now you go into some of these places with $20, you can't even buy anything. There were a couple of places, I think they started out with good intention, but quickly went the other way. I mean, a lot of these places they're giving donations of clothing, furniture, all kinds of things, but then they're turning around and they're selling it for a ridiculous amount. I think a person should be able to go in for $10 or $20 and get an outfit, especially if the stuff was donated. I have a couple of resources where as long as I put in the work, I can get the stuff I need. And I don't want to give out too much of that, because I don't want somebody getting that out from under me also. But donations are just that. They're donations. They should be used for the intention of the donation. You don't donate a bunch of clothes, for example, to a thrift store, only to have them turn around and sell them for almost what you would pay for new. I used to shop at one place where I got a lot of furniture, and when they first opened, it was great. I mean, they had furniture things and stuff that I needed for my home when I moved into my house, that were inexpensive. But I recently went back there to I was looking for a TV stand, and knowing that this stuff was donated to them, I went in, and the cheapest TV stand I found, for example, was over $30. I'm like, how do you do that? You don't, just because it might be worth $30, it's a thrift store, that doesn't mean you have to sell it for $30. I mean, I'm not a cheap person, but I don't feel that gouging people on stuff that was donated is right. And maybe I'm just naive or something, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure there's a way to help the community and be productive with a store. Like I said, just because something is worth $15, $20, it doesn't mean you have to sell it for that. I'm not going to be putting in junk clothes. Basically, donations of clothing and stuff like that, and the resources I have to get those clothes, the ones we'll go through them and and they will be, some of them may be designer, but just because they're designer doesn't mean we're going to jack the price up on them. But they're not going to have tears or stains or holes or anything like that. Those clothing will either be given to people in the community or donated to shelters or something of that nature. But I mean, the thrift store will be there to sell merchandise. Some of it will be new. I'll order things that are necessary. But I'll get it as cheaply as possible and sell it as cheaply as possible. The idea is solid. I just need to get people behind it. I don't want investors, because investors typically only look at the bottom line, and they might not like some of the ideas I have, because some of the ideas I have will literally be giving away things, but there are things that are needed in the community. Again, I don't want to do nonprofit, because that just seems to be too big of a headache. Whether I'm making a profit or not making a profit, I don't need Uncle Sam looking over my shoulder trying to make, it's just, from what I'm told, it's too complicated. And if I do make a profit, that the legalities and all, it's just, I'd rather just do it the way I want to do it, and pay my fair share of taxes on it, and go from there. I want to open also a online thrift store for people that aren't in the community that may want something. That's going to be a little different, and it's going to take a little bit longer. But like I said, I have a lot of ideas. In the update, I'm going to put a link to the other GoFundMe page. There's going to be more information here on this page, on this campaign. The other one was kind of, a little difficult to, I wasn't real clear on what I wanted to do, but being an over-the-road driver, I have a lot of time to think, and I thought about ways I could make improvements and things like that. So I just want to make this, I'm making this new campaign with a clearer idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. Please share, donate if you can. Check back for updates periodically. I did close down a flea market booth. I had 4 of them actually, and I closed them down because unfortunately it's the wrong venue for what I'm trying to do. Whatever profits I made, I did donate to the other campaign, but the other campaign, the only people that really donated were people that knew me and that I've helped in the past and so on. So they donated, and they made, some of them, a couple made comments and so on, and I may move those comments over to this one. I don't know, but there's going to be a link in here. I'm going to keep that campaign open simply because it did generate a lot of shares and all that, and I'm going to put a link in that one that comes to this one, so they're going to be crossing over each other. But please donate, comment, share, leave your thoughts. My email will be in there. My email address will be in there if you have questions. And this whole venture is pretty much going to be an open book. You'll be able to check its progress up to, including, and even beyond grand opening if I'm able to pull it together. And I'm hoping that it takes off, because if it does and it's working out well, I would like to branch out to other neighborhoods and maybe even other cities. You never know. I mean, everybody, you have to start somewhere. So I want to get this one off the ground and see where it goes. I mean, I look forward to working with people in the community. I enjoy helping people. Like I said, I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I am getting some help with certain things from my daughter, her boyfriend, and a couple of friends that I have that are taking care of things while I'm gone. I'm on the road, but I'm on the road. I'm only home like once a month, and I'm missing out on a lot of things. So I want to get off the road and try this, and I know I can make it work, but I need your support and help. And to that end, I appreciate anything you're able to do. Like, again, share, comment, donate if you can, and who knows, the resources at that community center might be something you need if you're in the Oklahoma City area. But again, even if you're not in the Oklahoma City area, there are going to be things on a website that that will be nationwide. And you never know. Again, I might open another one in another community, or in another city, and you never know, it could come to your area. And even if a donation is as little as $1, I mean, it shows that people are concerned and interested and want to better the community, and that's what we need. We need to start working together. Forget about all this political and all that stuff. We need to just start working together and make the communities better. And that's my goal, a good part of the goal. So anyway, I appreciate your time. Sorry this video is so long. I had a lot on my mind. I didn't say everything. But again, like, share, post it anywhere you can, comment, especially if you know me. We can go from there. All right, y'all have a great day today and a better day tomorrow. Thank you.